Hey everyone, another really quick, boring inspection video on a old LC120, Land Cruiser LC120 or Prado in Australia. Let's have a look around. This is, so what's that, 14 years old? Yeah, 14 years old, 240,000 Ks. Surely it's got to have some problems. Let's see what we can find on a 14-year-old Toyota. It's got the original suspension in there, so I'm going to recommend that gets changed. The usual sweat on the rack boots, you know, you're going to see same at the other side. Brakes are okay, tie rod ends are good, sway bar, all that's good. Drive shafts are good at this side. Let's have a look at the radiator. It's got to have some leaks or deterioration. Coolant, signs of coolant leaking, doesn't it? No, apparently not. Okay, that's pretty good, but you'd better check that because some do. Like I said, brakes good, original suspension. You can see a problem with this drive shaft boot there. So on this one, given the kilometres, depends what budget you're on, you could put a whole new drive shaft, genuine, or while doing the suspension upgrade, you could change your front wheel bearings, recommended every 200,000 K, so it's a bit, you know, good time to do those. You could pull the drive shaft out and change the inner boot actually, because the drive shaft price has gone up, and I think these have got a fair bit more life in them. So yeah, it's actually probably worth the labour, because the boot's going to be about, say, budget $50 for like boot and grease, for an aftermarket one that we showed in another video recently that worked out pretty well, so I'd use that. And probably add an extra, you know, a couple $100 labour on the R&R, the drive shafts, and pull it apart and get greasy and all that. There's that sweat on the boot. See, mirror image, no big deal. Same as you'll see a bit of a crack at the lower, see those lower control arm bushes. They're about a third of the way. You'll mirror image job over here, more or less. That one's cracked on the inside, so it is a mirror image. We'll just do a quick walk up the vehicle. Not going to see anything here. Fuel tank, drive shafts, diff. Okay, don't forget that fuel hose on the 120. You'll start to see some cracks appearing, and on the diesel, not a big deal. They just start weeping slowly, but I'd change it as prevention. And we've got videos on how to change that in the part number. Just keep looking at the videos, check out the playlists. On the petrols, it's kind of urgent because they split open and unleaded goes everywhere, really dangerous. Plenty of brakes, no axle seal or axle bearing problems. Original suspension needs to be changed. You can see it's bump stop sometimes. Pretty boring down the back here. This will be a quick video, KO2s. Let's do another review. How do you like the KO2s? You happy with those? Do the job?
Awesome.
Really slippery in the wet?
Yep.
Are they, yeah? No. So there you go. So this, again, I'm just going to keep asking people, because there's a small percentage of people, which equals a lot of people, that hate these tyres. And look, I can see some uneven wear on them, a bit feathered. So there's reason for them to be not the best in the wet, but you just got to drive within, you know. Asking too much of the tyre, not a good thing, but people aren't really having a problem is the evidence on the ground. But we're not loving them or hating them. We just used to love them, and I don't know, we've got a few doubts about them. Watch the videos. Plenty of grease being in that dry line. That won't need any more for a while. Look at it. It's like layers of, you know. Did I say this in the last video? You could probably get under there with a rag and some safety glasses and your dirtiest clothes and probably give that all a bit of a wipe and try and clean all that out, and then some degreaser and give it all. It's all right. It can just sit there. It's just untidy, but nobody's looking at it, you know what I mean? Same thing here around this drive shaft. Pan's dry, no bolts missing, nothing to see here, no oil on the turbo. It's just a typical Prado, you know, that's no problems. Don't know why that boot split there. Could be just one of the unlucky ones, I think. The front bushes in the lower control arm, you're going to see the same bit of twisting in that because of the old suspension. You know, they're the shock absorbers, right? So that's meant to, you know, reduce the bouncing on the springs. But if they're old and tired, they bounce more, therefore twisting the bushes more, therefore costing you $2,000 in lower control arms for genuine ones, or more if you go to the deal, 2.5, I think, even more. But yeah, just waste of money. Save on suspension, pay on bushes when you do the suspension, or do the suspension and save the bushes. It makes sense to me, but anyway, each to their own, whatever you want to do. And that's it. How boring was that? Nothing to see here. Is there anything else under there that we saw that we, you know, that's about it, isn't it? Happy days. All right, nothing else. Another quick look. Sump plug still in, it's always a bonus. Probably a transmission oil flush, or is that being done? I don't know. Can't really tell. Whoever's done it's done a good job. Pan hasn't been off. It's got the original gasket. Might have had a tool on there, but it's pretty clean. Do we do a transmission oil? It's probably a good idea to do a transmission oil change, you know, because it's probably never been done. Car's been here, I think, once before. We did a little bit of work on it. And that's it. This is just another boring inspection video. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe, turn the bell on. Transmission rear mount looks all right too, even with a bit of grease on it. All right, people. Catch you on the next video. See ya.